This world is messed up on so many levels. Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rechakwadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And double honors to our apostles and elders, the great millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And I just wanted to do an video based on the title of this news article here. And yeah, there's a lot of dirt and information coming out on this Dallas, Texas shooting. How police basically delayed themselves from, going into the building and stopping the shooter, right? And I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't really care about the people who are the victims of the shooting here, but the reason why I'm bringing this out is for edification's sake. Because something else to take note of is that before the Dallas, Texas shooting happened, which I saw this on an article that was shared by the brother Malcolm from the Chicago camp, and in the article it stated how police officers went into that school to get their children before the Texas shooting began. So if that don't sound fishy, then what does? Why did the Texas police go into the school to get their children before the Dallas shooter went in there? Did they know something that the other people didn't know? And these are things that are not being questioned. And then on top of that, after knowing that there was a Dallas shooter in there, right, they just sat around and did nothing. And their excuse for not going in there to help civilians was that they did not want to get caught up in the crossfire. What happened to protect and serve, huh? Which goes to show you the complete hypocrisy of this country. Protect and serve. Okay, you police are not here to protect and serve the civilians. You're here to protect and serve the so-called elites. And really, when you look deep into this whole police department thing, the whole police force is really just one big mafia. They're all in it together on one common thing. They're all working together. That's why there's a saying, whatever happens within the police force stays within the police force. They are one that the police force is no more than a big mafia that have sworn under a pledge under the so-called elites to protect and serve them. But then you people will say, well, wait a minute, we can still call the police and they can come and help us, but they're not coming to help you to your benefit. And some of you people who have called the police ended up being shot by the police. So are they really there for your benefit? But anyways, let's go to the book of Luke here. Luke chapter 8 verse 17. Okay, it says, for nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, and neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad. Check that out. Whatever is done in the dark is being brought to light. This was shared by Zero Hedge too, by the way, which is one of my most favorite alternative news articles. Okay, it was the wrong decision, very wrong. There's no excuse for that. When there's an active shooter, the rules change. Oh, do they? Says who? Says who? The police don't work for you people. They work for the so-called elites of this society. The so-called elites are the ones paying them. Now, don't get me wrong. Back in the late 1800s, going into the early 1900s, the police actually used to be on the side of the civilians. You know why? Because it was the civilians who were paying the police to protect them, to protect their village. The police, rather, if you believe it or not, the police used to be paid by the civilians. But it's not like that anymore. The police no longer gets paid by you people. The so-called elites are the ones paying these different policemen. And that's why they can get off the hook with these many different shootings amongst the people of our nation, the Israelites, which are you so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Indians. They can get away with those shootings because guess who's funding them? The so-called elites. Okay? If you civilians were the ones paying the police, do you really think they would just sit around and let an active shooter just shoot up a school like that? No. So now you start to understand why the police have this attitude of they don't have to listen to what you say. Because they're not being supported by the people. They're being supported by the so-called elites. And let me tell you something, they're paying these policemen good. Man, oh man. But anyways, man, that's all I wanted to, I just wanted to do a video on this, The information is out there, man. With that, I'm going to say, Shalom is on to the next one.